Hello everyone, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Naveed Mirza, and today I'm just going to start with a question to you all, and this is uh, about human relations. It's a topic related to, of course, attitudes that are very important to me, and important. It's been life changing for my own life, learning about attitude. So I'd like to start with a question to you all, that if you can think of 5 benefits that you would get developing a serving attitude. And on the contrary, we have the selfish attitude. So what would you think are the benefits of a serving attitude? And on the contrary, what are the negative things that you would have if you have a sort of a selfish attitude? So with that, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Naveed Mirza, and some of you may know me, but if in case you're listening to me for the first time, I'm a granddad. I'm an ex-aerospace engineer, and I've formed some companies in my past. I've worked as an aerospace engineer for Pakistan Air Force, but then for many years I've went into entrepreneurship, marketing other people's products. I'm home care industry, and then training programs, I got into my own training franchise. And so I've been and I have done different jobs with different and different industries. So with that, I'd like to just start my brief talk today. And I'd like to start with my own background and service that I started with the Pakistan Air Force long time back. And as you can know, it's from the name, it's Pakistan Air Force, it's a PAF service. So we serve that organization. So when we get into it, they train us, they give all the background education and how to do our job, and then we get into the field and we serve. And that's what we do. Whatever we are told, we do that. But at the end of the day, it's all serving that organization, and then we get the benefits or whatever as we perform on based on our performance. But that was my first job. But after that, I migrated to Canada in 1992. So that's when I did a job for 1 year. It was a huge, large company called Westinghouse. But that was slightly off my own field, so it was a little challenging for me. But in the end, I realized that the job was not for me, and I wanted to enter the world of entrepreneurship. And so when I entered the field of entrepreneurship, the first experience I had was working with a friend of mine who I met somehow. You'd just be surprised, but it'd be a meeting that we had in McDonald's, and he wanted to set up a sort of a advertising company, and I just thought, let me just get into the free market and maybe take anybody's product and take it to the marketplace. And I started off with that a few days, and but anyway, I came across another company. I came to a business to business situation where I met the manager of that branch that was in that business, and he invited me to start selling products for them, learn the selling skills. And so it was a direct sales industry. So and I started to pursue that, and I was doing pretty well. But the biggest challenge I had was when I was marketing to people or contacting people, because I'd never done this kind of work before. So it was mostly working on my own mindset, and that mindset shift was primarily related to the service part of that job or that situation that I was in. My income was directly related to how many people I served. So that's when I learned this very important lesson, that you can do a job and get a fixed salary, and of course, if you don't provide your services, you're going to be fired any moment, right? Or some services you may not be fired, but you'll just stay stagnant, and that's not no way to do pass your time. So when I was in this free market, I'm providing a service to somebody. I have to have my mindset based on service, and that was sometimes the biggest challenge is thinking of your own paycheck versus thinking of the customer's needs and serving the customer, and basing your income on the service you provide rather than pushing your way through and making maybe one sale or selling your product one time, but then losing that long term so advantage that you would have if you had that shift in your own attitude. So it's really we are fighting with a service attitude versus a selfish attitude, and that's what I experienced real time, and that started in 1993 or 94. So it's been a long time, and since that it's been a journey, and this has always been a struggle in my own mind that I have to fight these two sides of me, being selfish, think of your own needs versus think of the customer's need. That's going to bring you long-term benefit. This is going to bring you short-term gain maybe, but instant gain, yes, but not long-term. So these were two opposing forces that always are in the mind of entrepreneurs, and so this is a very fundamental lesson that I learned from my life, and I learned about other entrepreneurs and how they had succeeded, and the fundamental thing that they were all doing was they were serving other people. The people who were succeeding at a very big level were servers. So I went through my own experiences and I started into training business. Again, it was what I thought of the customer, who was the customer, and so their needs, and that always brought more business towards myself. So this is an important lesson I learned and like to share, and I share it with you. We can go into details as I don't have too much time to make very long videos. I'd like to keep it short. So what, in your opinion, if you can share your comments below, a selfish attitude on the other hand would give you versus a serving attitude. And I'd just like to cover some benefits that you would get as being having a service oriented attitude. The biggest, of course, benefit would be that you will be adding value in the marketplace, and if you believe in the product, you will talk about the interests of the customer, not what interests you or what benefits you. So that mind shift is going to add value to the society generally. Secondly, you'll have a sense of purpose. Your life is based on purpose. You can take anybody's product and take it to the marketplace, people, the customers who need that product, find those people, and then you are serving them. And that's not a one-time relationship that could go on for life, and it'll pay you for life. And the third thing, of course, it eradicates selfishness, that you take eyes off yourself and you put it on other people. So that's another thing that would contribute to society. You would make a positive change in the society, and that's going to be very helpful overall for everyone. And then, of course, they say that even it brings in longer life, because when you're thinking of yourself, your blood pressure goes up, your stress level goes up, and all of this happens. But as soon as you shift that thinking to other people, you're even, they say that they have carried out medical studies with students and people who were stressed, and send them out to volunteer jobs, and making it mandatory in a year that you have to do 200-300 hours of voluntary service. That really made their health much better. Their blood pressure, if they had a problem, went down, and it was a big therapy, considered to be a big therapy. And then another benefit that you get is it will boost your self-esteem. You will feel good about yourself, so definitely your performance everywhere will be better with other people, with your family, your relationships, everywhere. So that's another very big benefit. And another will be that you will create stronger friendships and bonds, because of the people you serve are going to be, you'll be adding value to their life. So that also brings in that very big, huge benefit to you. And since you become a positive person as a result, you're thinking of other people, you're not thinking of yourself. So that again makes you a better person overall and contributes to a fruitful life. So with that, I'd like to end this short video. And you're welcome to please share your comments, because that's a way we all learn from each other. I shared some of my own experiences and I could not go into detail, but definitely if you have more time, we can cover this subject later on. But definitely, you liked what you heard, you can share, and you can get back to me on my private message, and we can exchange, sort of have an intellectual discussion on the same topic. And with that, I'd like to end. Thank you very much. I'd like to continue on to this very important subject for some future videos as well. And I'd encourage you to please give your input. With that, Allah Hafiz, take care till next time.